Wagwan, everyone. Happy 420. How's everyone's day going? Yeah, I know. I'm going to give him a birthday shout out right now. I want to start off this live. A big birthday shout out to the main man, the margin call man himself, Kyle. Happy birthday, dude. Hope you have a good day. Yeah, guys, today's live is going to be a pretty cool one. We're going to be chatting about some of the weed stocks, a little bit of the hype around them, a couple of trades we can structure out. And besides that, we're going to chat about some earnings, right? We got a couple earnings trades today to look at. We have Netflix earnings, lots of stuff on the table. Quick update from yesterday. The ABT trade we were looking at was unfortunately a pretty big loser. Stock opened up down about 3%. And then it ran down. I believe now it's sitting at about 5%. It came back a bit, but it was down about 5% at one point. And I wanted to chat about this super quickly since I know a few of our members, got burned on this trade. Number one, there will be losing trades, of course, right? There's no strategy that you make money all the time. We're all aware of that. So what we're going to focus on here is how we could have improved our execution on this trade. Now, let's take a look at this. Let's go to ABT quick. All right, so anyway, what's going on? Give me a second. So check this out, guys. When we're in the middle here on the stock, right, we see that we have a lot of Vega exposure here, right? We have 10 Vega when we're in the body here. But when we jump out here, look at what happens. We have no Vega left. So in the morning, let's say we're short a straddle and the stock gap's huge, right? Let's see, it went from, it gapped about 5%. Let's just say it did it again here. Or, well, I guess this is different now, but okay, basically jumped out of our body to about here. You can see that we have no Vega left. So in this situation, we don't necessarily want to be waiting for the implied vol to come down because it doesn't do anything to help us. Now, imagine, and that's if we have the straddle on, but now imagine we have the iron condor on and the stock gaps from here out past our wing. Well, check this out. We are actually long Vega here, meaning we're going to lose even more money if the implied vol comes down. So when we get the big move, right, when we're unfortunately short vol and there's a big move, we want to get out quickly. Right now, let's say it moves here, right? Or you know what I mean? Like, let's say the move is, it's not insane, right? So let's come back to the straddle here. Let's say it moves over here. Well, here, we still have a lot of our Vega exposure, and we may want to hold it and wait for that implied vol to come down. So that's the main thing for this trade, right? A couple people got caught up waiting for the implied vols to come down, and what ended up happening was the stock just kept on running, and you ended up taking a bigger loss. So that's the advice that I would have, the way we can clean up that execution there. Don't wait for the implied vol to drop if you have no Vega exposure. Now, the other thing is, I think sometimes in the morning, there's not the most liquidity. And we need to be careful that we're not panicking to get out of the trade, right? That we're not just giving up a bunch of money just to not have it on anymore. Right? We have to embrace that the reason why this strategy makes money in the long run is because we are taking on that risk, right? We are embracing that P&L variance where other people couldn't do it. And we're going to have to live through that, right? We're going to have to, and I know some of us are maybe it's the first big loss that we've taken in a while. So it's okay, but you want to really sit there, go back, look at what you did, look at how you executed, use the think back feature, see what the spreads were at the time, see what other people were getting filled at around that time, and really ask yourself how you could have improved on that trade. So that's a little feedback from the ABT trade yesterday. Hopefully, no one was in too big of size and lives to see another day. And we'll move on to the next idea. Ned, what's going on? Jenny, good to see you. Jenny, have you? I'm still waiting for you to join the Discord. Okay, so let's talk about a couple trade ideas for now. We're going to be talking about some of the weed stocks, right? We got 420 today. It's a iconic day in the world of marijuana. And with that being said, a lot of these weed stocks are seeing a lot of call skew right now, right? A lot of people are betting that today they would be going up. If we take a look at the real-time quote here, they're actually, I think, across the board, they're pretty much all down. Right, CGC's down. I believe Afria's down. Adam, what's going on, man? Adam, did you see Curtis making some money off of that coin trade today? Did you get any of that? Get any of that on as well? Let's see, Tilray. Tilray down the most. Jeez. Okay, so now let's see what we got here for ACB. Right, let's take a look at what the historic skew is. Arnold, what's going on, man? So we're actually not seeing that low of skew, right? Relative to what we've seen in the past, it's really not that bad, actually. I thought it would be a lot steeper, but I guess it's just not had the hype that everyone thought it would. Price has just been absolutely destroyed this year. Poor company, man. But we can see here, we still have this pretty steep skew. And if you wanted to bet on this thing going up, you could probably get a pretty good trade on. Adam's saying he's not a scalper, so he didn't take coin. Adam, I gotta have some words with you about that, man. Just remember this: who cares what time frame it's on? It's just wherever the money is, right? I don't care if it's the 1 hour chart, if I'm watching every tick, or if I'm holding it for 3 months. Whatever pays me the most, I'll do it. Curtis made a pretty solid return on that trade in a pretty short period of time. Margin's birthday, that's good stuff. Once again, happy birthday, man. So, let's go over here and see what we can do with ACB. Is there anything we can... Now, ACB is a little bit of a cheap stock, so it might not be super exciting. But let's do something super short term and bet on this thing ripping. Let's see what we can get. Yeah, Dad, it's my birthday too, man. Come on. Every day since mid-April has been my birthday. Weird Gamer scalped Doge for $40. Jeez. Man, that's you should have just held, man. I don't know why you were scalping it. Doge is going to $1, don't you know? It actually could, maybe. But the thing about it going to $1 is that would put the market cap at what? Like, assuming that it's not just going to keep printing more in the meantime, that would put the dollar value of it at 130 billion. I don't know. That might be a bit of a stretch. It's sort of like GameStop going to $1,000. It might be a bit of a stretch just because as it moves up, the stock becomes bigger, right? And as the stock gets bigger, it's harder to push. All right, let's see what we can do here. $8, 10, 11. What's that going to give us? About a 1 to 18 risk reward. 1 to 10 risk reward. Betting on ACB trending up. Pretty hard trend up this week, though. Maybe we want to go a bit tighter here. Okay, Adam, that's a better way to put it. But don't worry, man. We'll work on that. Like, you were there for last night's live. You sort of see we're just trying to price it out, right? We put our own fair value on something, and then if it hits our fair value or if it opens up higher or lower than our fair value, it's a buy or a sell. Right? The time frame isn't the huge component. The thing about the time frame with this trade, with the coin trade, is that it was sort of event driven in the sense that it was just becoming optionable. We anticipated a lot more demand, a lot higher implied vol, but it opened up pretty close to our fair value, and then I guess Curtis just got a good fill or something. I don't know. We should actually ask him about it in the chat. So no, Arnold, this is not an earnings trade. This is a 420 play. If you wanted to bet on ACB going up this week because of 420, here's a little trade you can put on. If ACB trends up about, let's see, today's price is here. Let's put it up at plus 5%. You'll make 100% if it trends up 5%. If you get a 10% move, you're going to be making huge money this week, right? You're making 5 times your money, 6 times your money. All right, so you could do something like this, and you should be able to get something like this on for any of the weed stocks that you're interested in. All right, let's see if we look at like Tilray, for example. Yeah, Adam, I'll definitely take a look at those. All right, let's go over to Tilray. Right, and these are those PA flies into that call skew. Let's see. We can do this, 19 and 20. All right, you can get that really good risk reward on pretty much all of them. Right, 1 to 8, 1 to 10. Why not, right? Maybe you get a bit of a better fill. Things look pretty good here. Getting a 1 to 9 risk reward if you can get it for 20 cents. And it's just a bet on it trending upwards over the next couple days, right? And these things have enough volatility where that could definitely happen, right? Definitely could. Especially since with this position, you're not tied to just the outcome of today. It might be worth a little punt, right? You wouldn't put any major size on it, but it's good for small accounts. It's not a bad idea. So those are the ideas that I have for these weed plays. Now, one thing that I'm thinking, let's see here. It's been pricing upside risk for quite a while here. Is there any that maybe usually has downside risk that's flipped around? Let's see, what else is there? Afria. Yeah, not really. Okay, no. That would be the one idea. I was trying to think if there's any that maybe we could come sell these calls here and buy some of the puts, but I'm not thinking it's a super great idea. So let's move on to some earnings. And Adam, those are definitely the 2 earnings that we're going to take a look at for today. We're going to be talking about Netflix earnings and EW earnings. So let's come on over here. Let's just take a look at Netflix first. All right, so Netflix is after the close today. We got a confirmed event for it, yeah? Okay. So, implied move at 6, average implied move at 8, and then the average actual move at 6.39. Now, with this average move, something we got to keep in mind is we had this huge move in the last event. Right? Last event had a huge move. This event back here in 2017 also had a huge move and a really big jump here in 2018. Right? So we have a few events that are pretty big moves. I think this average move is probably actually fair, but we can also see here that the median move is about 5.26, which is sort of the middle number move. We can also see the straddle P&L is very, very negative. Right? So selling vol here has been good historically. So off the bat, it's looking like an okay sell, right? Let's go through some of the factors here. The level of the implied move, it's good. Implied move versus average move. It's about fair value right now, but that's because we've had a couple blowout events. The straddle P&L looks pretty good, right? Well, it looks great actually, right? You know, in the last 4 years, you would have been up 500% on your risk. Calls and puts, no money to be made. You know, skew's pretty flat. Yeah, it is. It actually looks okay to if you wanted to do your Iron Condor. Now, there's something to keep in mind though here, which is that Netflix is not a cheap stock, right? So this is something that a lot of people overlook when they trade earnings, and it can be completely devastating if you overlook it. Right? Let's come here. Let's price out one Netflix. One Netflix Iron Condor here. Let's take a look. Stock's trading at 550. Let's price out that straddle. Right. So step one, price out the straddle. It's $36. So we're gonna go about 70 wide on this. So we're gonna sell an Iron Condor. Put our two sell strikes at 550, and then this call is gonna be at what? 620, and then this put's gonna be at 480. And let's say we do one lot. Right, so the thing to note here, your one lot max loss is actually about $3,500 here, right? So let's say you're trading a $10,000 account. If you take this hit, it's game over, right? It's a very, very big loss to come back from. The risk on this trade is just a lot bigger than what we maybe would like it to be. Now maybe we could do something like this, right? If you're willing to go naked on the position. Let's see. Right, we put that on. Right, so you can do this, right, where we're basically, this be a half. Let me see if it's, yeah, you see that? Right, so you could do something like this, reduces your risk a little bit. Right, so if you got like a 12% move, you're now risking about $1,500, right? So you could put on something like this. This is not a bad idea. Right, and what we're basically doing there is we are selling one call and buying 50 shares per. Right, you can see here it's reduced our risk quite a significant amount. So that would be for Netflix. Like it looks like an okay trade to take. It's nothing. It's not a crazy one, but it definitely meets the criteria. And then what was I gonna say? But you have to be aware of that max risk, right? If you're trading a $10,000 account, this is probably one that you don't want to take. It's too big. It's too big. If it blows out, it's going to be devastating. Now, the next one to take a look at is EW. Let's take a look at EW here. What do we got going on? What do we got going on with EW? Implied move of 5.35, average move 4.47. average implied move at 5.58. So vol's looking a little bit pricey here. Let's see what this thing's going for. $90. Okay, so it's a little more reasonable for account sizes to trade. Now we have seen some big moves. We have seen some big moves in the second quarter here, right? 10%. So that's probably what we'd want to stress this position to. We'd stress it to like an 11% move. We can see straddle P&L is negative. It's not like unbelievably negative, but it does look like historically market has been overpricing vols going into this event. No real directional edge that I'm seeing here. You know, do we have a put skew going into this? Not really. So, oh wow, the implied move was a lot higher a couple days ago. Implied move came down a little bit. Did they release some information? Let's have a quick look. Or let's I keep forgetting I can use this news and sentiment. Or maybe it's just having some lag. Let's see. Let's open this up. Okay, yeah, nothing too crazy here that I'm seeing. It just looks like it came down a little bit. So, what can we do here? Well, we'd probably come in and, if you wanted to sell some vol, it looks okay. Right? Little bit of edge. Remember, these trades all have just a little bit of edge. It's nothing too crazy. Let's see what the implied vols will come down. Implied vols will come down maybe 20 points or so. 25 points, something like that. So let's go price this thing out. Do we have some liquidity on the weekly here? Oh, it's pretty wide. The spread is very wide here, actually. So, okay, something we can do together as a team after this live is we can price out what we should be getting filled at here. Because if you get a bad fill here, it's going to be game over. Right? Now, this is going to be the tricky part. Actually pricing this thing to get a fair value on it. Right? Because you want to be selling it at, like 50, 55 vol, 56 vol. Right? So if you're not getting it for, around 355, something like that, it's probably not worth taking. Right? But let's say you are. Let's see what it's going to look like in the morning here. Position will look like this. Let's put on a one lot. It'll look something like this. And let's stress it to the biggest move that it's had. I'll stress it to an 11% jump. Plus 11, minus 11. Let's have a look. Right, and this is what it would look like if we hit that max loss. Right, we're taking on a lot of risk here, right? But that's the way it always is with this, right? It's always like that, where you're going to have a lot of small losers, the occasional, or a lot of small winners, the occasional huge loser, but that's the reason that we're getting paid, right? And that's the reason. Yeah, Adam, that's maybe a good idea, right? If you're new to the idea of pricing it out, focus on the one for now. Right? There's gonna be enough earnings trades that come around, and really try to price it out. Right. So what I would recommend you do, Adam, is come into the terminal here. Oh, there we go. Now it populated. Just took its sweet time. Right? Come to the option calculators here. And use this to price it out. Right? Come and say like, okay, what's the underlying price right now? What strike did I sell? Expiration. Put in the market volatility, right? And then click run and see what it should be priced at. And then put in your volatility, right? Let's say I think it's 5 points lower. So I think that 285 call is worth 228. You know what I mean? And then use that to build out like what you think the straddle is worth versus what you sold it for. And then you have an idea of what kind of fill you're trying to get. All right. Let's see what's going on with these weed stocks. Are they still trending down? They're still on their way down. They're just getting crushed today, eh? Hey. Let's see. There you go. Well, why not something like this? I risk $60 to make $500 if it trends down anymore. This actually looks pretty good. I think it's just something going on with the chain right now, but maybe if you could get a fill here. I don't know why why there's nothing going on here. There's just no volume. That might not be a bad idea if you can get filled on it. A little vertical there. The what is it? The 750 vertical. That's okay. Yeah, those are the ideas for today, guys. Do you have any questions? Anything I can help with for now? If not, I hope everyone enjoys their day. Right? Netflix earnings looks okay if you can take on the risk associated with it. Remember, it's a big stock. EW, it looked good, but there's no liquidity, right? There's not even at the money liquidity there. You'll need to price it out, and it might be tricky to get in and out of, right? So that's definitely like an advanced one to take. I really liked, Adam, how you came to this live with some stocks you wanted me to look at. I encourage all of you to do that, right? If you have trades that you want me to take a look at, I would much rather you bring them here. It keeps the live fresh, keeps me on my toes, and I think it's more value for you and everyone else in the live. Right? Remember, we're just trying to, price out assets here, right? The thing that's been missing from the retail space for a long time, the reason why retail traders in general end up on the wrong side of the trade is they never try to put a value on the asset. And it's not from a lack of wanting to or trying. It's just, it's not something that's talked about all the time. And we're trying to change that here, right? We've got a big vision for what retail trading can look like, and it starts with us breaking down ideas together and starting to just think a little differently about our trades. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a great day, and we will see you all on tomorrow morning's live. See you around.